in Singapore today and we're here to eat.
This food series is all about showing you the best local eats in the country.
Singapore is a nation of eaters. The food culture here will blow your mind. This is our 4th video from Singapore and we're travelling all over the island to show you the best local food. We go crazy for some of the island's tastiest noodles, succulent barbecue pork and one of Singapore's best snacks. In this 4-part series, we're hunting down authentic Singaporean food and eating where the locals eat. You don't want to miss this series. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat. The food culture in Singapore is unreal. There is food everywhere you look. So we've been traveling all over the island to show you some of the best food in this video, hunting down the absolute gems. So at the moment we're at HAWKER Centre, which is in a wet market, but the HAWKER Centre, so all the food to eat straight away, is right upstairs. So let's go get our first thing.
First snack is one of my favourite dishes to eat in Singapore. It's the ultimate comfort food. It's fried prawn Hokkien mee. Oh yeah. Before. This is one of my favourite dishes to eat in Singapore. This is the fried prawn Hokkien mee and it is a jumble of ingredients. It's made up of 2 types of noodles. So you've got bee hoon, which are rice noodles, and then yellow noodles. They're cooked in a prawn and pork stock. And then there's some egg, some bean sprouts, some prawns, and some pieces of squid. And this is just comfort food. It's simple, it's really hearty. Oh, I can also see some pork, and I think there's, oh yes, some lard in there. And I hear that this stall cooks their lard or fries up their lard fresh every morning. We've got some sambal and also some calamansi to go with it. So I'm just gonna get that calamansi juice into there. All right, and then chuck some of that sambal or chili sauce into the noodles because I want a bit of spice. Mix it all up and let's go for a massive bite. Oh, this is an excellent Hokkien mee. It's got a smoky flavour from the wok, hey, which is the essence of the wok. So you want that smokiness from the wok to sort of impart itself into the noodles, and this dish definitely has that. And it's quite creamy and rich. So when they cook the noodles, they're pouring ladles of the pork and prawn stock into the noodles, letting the noodles sort of soak up the stock, sort of like when you cook a risotto. You add the broth sort of intermittently, let the rice cook, soak it up and get creamy. It's like the same sort of thing here. The noodles are really creamy. I want to include some squid on my next bite, and then also a piece of that, is that pork lard there? Hopefully that's pork lard. Okay. Oh yes. The squid is really, really tender. It just melts in your mouth, not chewy at all. And that pork lard just explodes with fat and flavour as you crunch down on it. This stall has been here since 1968, so that's like over 50 years. And they were so busy. We waited about 15-20 minutes for our order. So worth the wait. such a brilliant food centre. We've actually filmed there before. We ate a delicious carrot cake, so check out that video. And that is my new favourite Hokkien mee in Singapore. It was phenomenal.
Next up, we've made our way to another hawker centre. This is the ABC Brickworks hawker centre, and we're having two different dishes here. The first one is right beside me. It's called Fatty... what's it called?
Fatty Cheong. We're here for some
brilliant name.
rice.
This stall looks incredible. I absolutely love char siu on rice. So this stall comes highly recommended. We've got it on good authority that it is the best in Singapore, and I can't wait to try it out because it looks incredible. This char siu or barbecue pork looks really special. They're cooking it in a really big charcoal oven, so that's always a good sign that you're going to get mega flavour with a dish. And just look at it, it's a beautiful meat. So there's a couple of things that are really special about this place. One, it's cooked in that charcoal oven, and two, they use a really special cut of the meat. They actually use the armpit of the pig. I guess that's a leg pit, I'm not really sure. I'm not good enough on butchery to know exactly where that is, but I guess it must be right up there under the pig, and I don't know if that makes the meat fattier and juicier, or if it's a drier, more flavoursome cut of meat, but I guess there's one way to find out. So we've got the meat on rice with this beautiful gravy on top. We do actually have some greens to balance it out, make it a bit more of a rounded meal, but I'm here for the main game. And we do have some chili as well, but I'm going to leave that first time around. Just get some meat on rice. Burst of flavour. Absolute burst of flavour. I thought the charcoal barbecue would give it a bit more smokiness. It has that a tiny bit, but not so much. I love that this isn't too salty, but it does have a very good sweet salty balance. The meat had a beautiful layer of juicy fat that just burst in my mouth, so it gave a real flavour hit. And that sauce on top is just packed with flavour, so that's what it's marinated in as well. And the sauce is packed with things like dark soy sauce, oyster sauce, bean sauce, rice wine, just flavour town. Let's get some chili with another piece. So I'm gonna get a whole lot of chili on there. Because it was not quite as smoky and barbecue as I thought, I think the chili's really gonna round this out nicely. Oh, that chili is great. It looks really fiery because it's got quite a good like dark red oil on it, but it's actually quite tangy. It's got a real sourness to it, a little bit sweet and a tiny spice, and so that works perfectly with the meat and the sauce on that meat. Now I've got to say, a real standout with this is the meat itself. It's got an incredible texture and an incredible flavour. Sometimes with a dish like this, the meat gets a bit lost under all that marinade, but it's not here. You've got the real flavour of the meat as well as all those other flavours coming together to make absolutely perfect mouthfuls of food. Oh, it's an absolute joy. It's really good.
See that line behind me? That's what we're going to join for a really delicious snack to cool us down. It's cendol. If you need cooling down when you're in this part of the world, cendol is the thing to eat. We ordered the house specialty. It's called the power cendol. So it is rapidly melting, so I'm going to speed through what it is. It's made up of a tightly ball of shaved ice, tightly packed ball of shaved ice. There's some coconut milk in there. There's these green pandan noodles, which are cendol. It can be a bit confusing because the name of the dish is called cendol, and these pandan flavored noodles are called cendol as well. There's some red beans in there. And then the reason this stall is famous for its cendol, this gula melaka, the thick, sticky coconut palm sugar, which is the crowning glory on this dessert. Oh, I also saw a palm seed in there as well. So let's just get a big old spoonful, some of that gula melaka, some beans, some cendol, and ice. Whoa, that gula melaka is like nothing else. It's really sticky and thick, quite caramelized. Oh, that's real good. Coconut milk is very creamy. The ice is so refreshing. And it's a really great snack when you're super hot. Oh my goodness, the cendol is turning into soup. It's just such a great texture too. You got the slippery pandan noodles, earthy red beans, the ice, the creamy coconut milk. The flavors are just a mishmash of perfection.
In this whole series, we wanted to take you all over the island and show you some of the best, the really amazing local food. So that's what we've been doing, and today is no different. We've covered all corners of Singapore to find the best food, and we've now come for a wantan mee, which is a really classic dish that you see all over Singapore, but this is meant to be an incredible version. And we just love traveling all over Singapore because you can really get around and really find the best local food. And honestly, what we're showing you, especially in this video, it might not seem on the surface the most exciting food, but it is incredibly exciting because it is so tasty. It's just such great versions of these dishes.
Run through the fire, I'll walk the wire. I would sell everything I own. I'd swim the ocean, dance with the devil. I'd sell my soul to take you home.
Now this is a dish you'll find all over Singapore. I mean, every hawker centre will have someone selling this dish, generally multiple people. But we've come to this restaurant because it's rumoured to be one of the best you'll find on the whole island, and it sure does look good. So it's a very simple looking dish. It's got char siu pork, so barbecue pork, like we just had at that last hawker centre. But for starters, you can see how different that pork looks. We've got some greens, we've got the wontons, and then we've got the noodles. So they're an egg noodle, and they get a lot of flavour because they are cooked and then dipped in pork lard and the stock, a pork stock that they make. And we've got some great little sides here. So this is some fried pork lard and some nice pickled chilies. So I'm going to put some of these fried lard bits on, definitely some of these pickled chilies, and then just mix it all up. Get some pork on there, some noodles. Oh, and I forgot to say, this is their house chili sauce, which is meant to be legendary, but I'm gonna go no sauce first and then have sauce second time round. Oh, wow. Oh, there's a lot of flavor. That pork lard is really giving the dish a lot of flavor, and the char siu is nice and sweet, and it's really fine bits, and it's quite a nice dry char siu, so it's not covered in big fatty bits or anything like that. It's just beautifully thinly sliced and quite dry. Oh, that is really, really good. Let's chuck some more together, but this time we'll go chili sauce. Now they say you only need a little bit because it is fiery. Whoa. It's really fiery. Oh, that is great. I'm going to grab a wonton. So they're full of pork meat as well. Oh, there's so much flavour there. A really nice oiliness and fattiness from the pork. Oh, and that chili sauce is really good. It's super sharp, really fiery, but doesn't take away the beautiful flavours of the actual dish. It is delicious. Look how beautiful and springy those noodles look. You can even just tell picking them up how good they are in the mouth. So they've got a beautiful springiness. They're not overdone and coated in all that flavour. Incredible. And this is another real heritage place. It's been around since the 40s, family recipe, passed down through the generations. Another incredible stall here. Well, it's a restaurant actually, this one, but another incredible restaurant in Singapore. There's so much good food here.
Every brush of your curves is the air I breathe. You speak, I am listening. Sweat rolls.